Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2, Hello Hair Pro podcast.
Hi.
My name is Todd.
I'm Jen.
And we're the owners of Hello Hair Co., our salon. And we are creating, or we have started to create Hello Hair Pro, which is sort of an education sort of platform for us.
Information.
Where our mission is to help, as you put it,
anyone and everyone.
Who wants it? We like to do things different, and we want to get that information out there. It's basically what it breaks down to.
If you want to listen, we're here for you.
Business owners, new stylists, veteran stylists, independent stylists, barbers.
All of you.
Everyone. Probably going to get sued for saying barbers that way.
Reach out if there's something you want us to touch upon, because we've got lots of information up here we want to share.
So I think in the first episode, we got into laying out the salon, some of the problems that we encountered, some of the ways that we worked through those. And now we wanted to sort of continue with that a little more fine-tuned. So we want to talk about technology that we brought in.
It's a big part of Hello.
And it is. Did it stem from innovation? Innovation was one of our core principles. And I think that's when we decided to look into companies and solutions to serve us, to make our salon sort of more modern and to make our stylists and barbers' lives easier.
Yeah. And protect the environment.
And to protect the environment, sustainability, and all that stuff. So let's jump into tech. So where do you want to start? We have a lot.
Yeah. I mean, first on my list is Vish, because it is just an amazing company with amazing concepts, and it's delivering on everything I think it has thought out to do. I don't know. In my opinion, it is. It's a really great company that weighs and measures your color, stores your formulas. But the best part is you start with your formula, you put it all in, and when you're done, you reweigh the bowl. So now it recalculates for the next time that client comes in and takes away all the waste. So there's two parts there that are amazing. One is that waste that goes down the drain is not good for the environment, so it's protecting that. Second is profitability also, because the less color
very
waste,
important for businesses.
Yeah.
Weird.
It just saves you money. And on the sense of, for those of you who do your color orders like I do, it's a report you pull up that makes it really simple to replenish anything that's been used. So you don't have to go through and be like, oh, did we use this or that? And you miss stuff. So it kind of does three things there. And I don't remember the numbers, but the end of last year, they reported on how much.
I think it was like 1.8 million.
Of color that was
something like that,
not wasted because of what they do. That just makes my heart happy, because the salon industry is wasteful, and not even on purpose in some things. It's just stuff that we have to use. So if you can cut down on that, why not?
It's like 2 out of 5 color tubes end up down the drain.
Yeah, which is just sad. So if collectively salons can, work towards less waste, it's an amazing impact.
So it's a color management software. That's how I describe it.
That's the simple way to say it.
So, no, it's really cool. You could talk about Vish. And
for like a long time.
We talked to, is he the CEO? Or
I think he's the founder.
The founder. Okay. So we were on the phone.
Or is part of it. I don't know, but.
Over the pandemic with the company itself, which was really cool. So we got to know them even a little more in depth, which made everything, I feel like, even cooler. You feel a
he
little
trained
more
us because because it was a pandemic, and we got to create a cool relationship there too.
It was very cool. So that's how we manage our color. We have another company called EcoHeads, who has a product called Ping that we use to mix our color. Do you want to talk about that?
So that's really exciting, because it cuts down, I think it's like on 30% of waste, the way it mixes the color, and it mixes it for either 45 seconds or 75 seconds. It also, you have your bowl and you put the Ping on top, so the fumes aren't coming up either. So that's an amazing thing for the stylists who are mixing color all day. On top of that, the way it mixes the color with the developer helps with the coverage of that application too. So you've got, you're cutting down on waste, you're mixing your color in a way that helps it apply better for your client, and then the fumes are reduced. And I don't think I could ever mix anything by hand anymore because you can't make the consistency the same. It's really, really amazing.
So I don't color hair, but
if you did,
the consistency is, we did a side by side, and the consistency
it's amazing.
It's night and day. So that works really well with helping our salon work towards sustainability. Sustainability is a really big deal to us for the earth.
Huge.
And for our staff. Mm-hmm. You have gone through things for years, and I've watched you with shoulder injuries and sore necks and all those things. So that brings us to our next sort of tech solution, which is our freestylist.
Yes.
Blow dryers.
Game changer.
So another local company that we found out of Massachusetts, freestylist. Yeah. Check them out. I don't get anything for saying that, but if we ever get popular on YouTube or wherever you're listening, I don't get anything, but I love that company. Super cool. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So Freestylist, last podcast we talked a little bit about lighting. So they were the platforms that we had made with the lighting in it. On top of that, it's the blow dryers that come from the ceiling. And the way they make the system makes it so they're completely weightless. So that if you are a stylist that blow dries often, your life is changed with a blow dryer that has no weight to it. And it comes down from the ceiling, so it doesn't wrap, the cord doesn't wrap around the client's neck. So it's just, I guess, easier. It's managed easier. Dang.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice. No one wants a cord wrapped around their neck, right?
No.
So that part is great. But also stylists, I feel like, get into a rhythm where they stick the blow dryer like underneath their arm or put it on their tray while it's still going while they section the hair. And this, you easily put it back in the ceiling and it turns off, and then you section the hair and you bring it back down. So you're not using as much energy also. But the real point that brought me to Freestylist, which was about 11 years ago, was my shoulder injury, and I wasn't able to work in the same manner because my body was breaking down. So when I first started using these blow dryers that were weightless, my pain went away and I could do my job and my body wasn't hurting from just blow drying all day. It is amazing. I would never want to go back to a regular blow dryer.
So those are cool. I love the technology part, and I was reading all about it. That the mechanism that's in the ceiling, actually they're in the lighting platform now. They used to be in the ceiling. Is constantly counterbalancing that dryer, so it's seemingly weightless, which is really cool. Again, my blow dries, being a barber and working primarily with short hair, my blow dries are so much faster than yours, but I can imagine how much of an impact over time that makes.
It makes it fun to blow dry again. Like I love
and they
finishing
look
the
cool.
hair. And they look cool. Aesthetically, they're
cool.
beautiful.
Yeah.
For sure. Some people think it's actually just aesthetics. I'm like, no, they actually work. And then they pull it down and it turns on. And
the on and off, which you already touched on, which is cool because it just saves electricity. And that's always a good thing. So what other tech things do we have at the salon?
So we do also, we have iPads at the stations.
We do.
So one of the ideas behind that is when a client is leaving and checking out, they're already on to what's next. So being a mom of 3, if I'm checking out, I'm like, I got to get to the store. I got to pick the kid up from here. I got to do this. I got to do that. And the last thing I'm thinking about is rescheduling my next appointment. Or I am, but I've run out of time. And now I'm stressed. And there's people behind me that want to check out. And my anxiety is like, let me just get out of here. I'll call you later. So with the iPads that we have on the styling stations, they're there so that while the client, a color client, is processing, they can reschedule their next appointment or next few appointments, especially when holidays come up. It's easy to get in if they want a few appointments rescheduled, so then they can plan out the rest of their year. If you have a haircut client, we can reschedule them at the styling station also before they leave. And it just helps clear out the people coming in and leaving, and it also allows for them not to be dialed in on the rest of their life and what they need to be doing once they leave the salon. So it really helps them focus on themselves and then what they need done for them with their appointments. And it's been very effective and people are loving it.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, the whole, like when you're done at the salon, you've been there for a few hours, it's time to go. Mm-hmm. People don't want to have to go stand at a desk and rebook. They're fumbling for their keys. They're worrying about kids' dinner, all the places they have to get to, all the things that we all have to do all the time.
And it kind of came from a place, for me, I was at the dentist and they were rebooking me right there. And I was like, this is amazing. Like they've got me here. They've got my attention. And from owning a salon previously, one of my things as an owner, and I'm sure a lot of people can understand this, and from a stylist, I was always so worried when I brought up my client as to that they got into the spot they wanted, or like if I could see something in my schedule that would work for them, I wanted some control over that. And then that created this like just too many people up at the front and too many
it's micromanaging. Yeah. Now you're micromanaging your client, you're micromanaging your staff, and it's just nobody wants to be freaking micromanaged.
And as a stylist, you want to take care of your client, and as an owner, you want that client taken care of too. So the iPad at the station kind of hit all of that. Like the stylist now can see where they can fit best. They know what services they need. They know how long it takes to service that client and can make sure all of that's done. And then, they're not jumping in at the front when that person's leaving. So it just made sense. It was like an aha moment. Like, why are we not doing it this way? Like, this is smart.
So one of the things we're actually looking into doing now, and I'm excited about, is to eliminate the front desk completely.
Yeah.
And that's probably a whole separate podcast on its own, but we're looking into having readers right at the stations so that people can pay, and our pricing structure, another podcast, allows us to do that because everything is transparent and it's comprehensive. So the person knows, the client knows what they're paying. Yeah. There's no shock. And they can just pay while they're processing, or while they're blow drying, you can hand them the reader and they can run their card, and then when they're done, they're actually done, which is nice.
Simple.
Any other tech you want to touch on?
I can't think of anything else. No.
So I have sanitation on my list to talk about. We can touch on it, but we've done so much. Everyone's talked about this so much because of the pandemic.
Yeah, I think for me it was really, okay, as a stylist for a long time, I was disgusting.
Gross. Stylists are gross. Why are you guys gross?
Just gross. And I had to admit how unsanitary I was, I guess. So part of Hello, even before the pandemic, was I said to Todd, I need help, which meant I almost like needed therapy of like, I don't know how to clean my shit. So sorry, can I say that?
Say whatever you.
Okay, I don't know how to clean my stuff. I don't know how to clean it well, and I feel like everybody's got it. There's just so many different things out there. So I also, having said that, was like I need a way for when our staff comes in that makes it simple, easy, effective. Like, how do we do that? Because if it's too complicated, already you've lost me. I don't know what to do, and I'm just confused. So really, with sanitation, I want to touch upon that we just implemented a very easy approach that makes it so simple. Everything's clean, and I'm proud of it. Like, I'm proud now when my client sits down, anything I use on them is so clean. And I know everyone else in the salon is following those exact same standards because of the way we
better be. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, they are, trust me.
So
that's a big deal.
Yeah, I've been in salons and barbershops.
Sorry, I think I have a bug bite on my back.
And scratch it up. I've been into a lot of salons now and barbershops, and I don't understand how they're just gotta clean.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk bad about
from
people,
even just the surface, like when you're done with someone, like taking
clients notice
everything off that like showed that the last client was here. So
yes, there should be no sign of the previous client.
It's beautiful. It's their time. It's yours. Take a deep breath. Like, now you've got new energy for the new person, and it's like set to go.
So moving on into this has to do with the pandemic as well. Our marketing strategy. So initially, our marketing strategy was business to business, which we employed at your last salon, and it worked really, really well. We found a lot of new clients that way, just going around talking to other business owners, talking to managers at places, even gifting them, showing up with something in hand,
I forgot about
a
that.
coffee or some products or whatever, and just saying hello and being out in the community. Well, suddenly we have a pandemic and we're not allowed really, it's frowned upon to walk into a business.
Yeah, it freaks you the F out.
Yeah, so which was fine. So we had to sort of pivot, which we're good at. I think we're really good at pivoting. Yeah. So we had to pivot. And what we did was we spent a little time thinking about where people were because they weren't out and about. And we ended up with a simple answer of they're at home. Mm-hmm. So our marketing strategy became that.
I feel like we went like back in time.
Back in time, yeah. So
I had never marketed like that ever.
No, it was super old school. Yeah. I knew nothing about it. So we actually hired a company and we worked with them.
Yeah, so we...
so it was super old school.
Yeah, we partnered with the company and we first mailed out in the town that our business is located in Londonderry, New Hampshire. And then we chose to expand that into 2 towns surrounding our business to really get what we felt was hello in front of people so they realized we were open in what services we were offering. And we did a discount with that, which is not something that Todd and I generally... suggest or would get behind, but in this case we felt we needed something to get people in the door and realize we're here, and we felt like once they came into our space and understood what we were doing and the look of the space, that they would be excited to stay.
For sure. And I think it's like I've already mentioned a bunch of times, pivoting, it's important to be able to do that. And we looked at that first year and we just thought we'll do this discount to get in front of people. And again, like you said, Jen, I don't recommend anybody discount anything ever, but we were opening a salon. It was a pandemic. We were limited. We were almost backed into a corner. There was no way to do a grand opening. There was no way to invite other businesses in. There was no way to do an open house. All of the stuff that we had planned just sort of got, taken away from us.
Yeah, and people were afraid to go out. So we were like, how do we showcase it? So maybe if they do decide to go out, we're one of the places on their list.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we did that stuff. We worked with a company. We did that for a year, and then we switched things up a little bit, and then we're going to be phasing that out shortly. Mm-hmm. And what else for marketing strategy? Did we have anything else? That was where we were at.
And then social media, right? Trying to...
Yeah, social media. So we were posting quite frequently, but not as good, not as like focused of content as we wanted to. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of where we are now. We decided we needed to step up our game. Our business coach, my business coach, shout out Shelly, mm-hmm. said you need to step up your social media game. And when somebody says something like that to me, I'm like, I'm all in. And then we actually had a barber, Jason, who came in to kind of just hang out and shadow mm-hmm. for a day. He had reached out and said, you should do like a vlog or something. And then I brought it up to you and I was like, well, Shelly wants us to step up our game. So let's do everything. Let's put together a new YouTube channel. Let's have a podcast. Let's just step things up. So that's our marketing strategy moving forward. And that's going to be fun with the new project. But let's talk about the next topic, which is retail.
Yes.
And I know you get very excited about talking about retail. So go.
So, I love retail. It's not for everybody. I get that. Not everybody wants to sell retail, but for me personally, part of my client relationship I have is talking about products. So when we were supposed to open, let's say pre-pandemic, Todd and I had kind of picked 4 different big brands that we thought would fit well into what we were doing at Hello. And at the time, I truly felt the part of like your brand for your salon is also what retail you carry. Like I almost felt like that like set you apart. Like you carry these brands, that's who you are, that's like what you're all about. And
I didn't know any better.
Yeah, and it was just I've always aligned with the brands, and the brand sort of then became the brand of your salon. So pre-pandemic, we get all our retail in, we're set up to go. Obviously, we can't open. And so end of May, we're opening, and one of the really, really, really big brands repackages. So Hello has all their old packaging, and I reach out for help, and I'm just told to put it on sale. And as you all know, if you've been closed for a few months, putting something on sale is like death. Like, I'm like,
it's tough to swallow.
Yeah. And at this point, our clients have never even stepped foot in our salon. They don't even know what brand, they don't even know what we're about yet. They just support the staff that we have at the salon, and they're coming in. So I'm not putting something on sale. So I sell through those things. That's fine. And actually, leading up to just recently, still had some old packaging. So that's how long it sat there for. So then holiday comes, and if you know anything about holiday, all big brands, any brand, all brands, they want you to buy their holiday packaging, which is a lot of money up front for a salon to then try to sell through. One of the brands, actually both of these big brands, what they do is they just package the like boxes they come in. So this way you can break them down at the end of the year, and then you've got a discount by buying into their holiday, and then you can just sell it as regular retail, and there's a better markup for you.
With more work, by the way.
With way more work. And it's so, to me, so stressful because you're sitting on all this product and you're trying to get through it, and you're just not.
It's a massive investment. We looked at it one day, and I remember saying to you, I feel like a freaking warehouse, like a miniature warehouse. Mm-hmm. If any other surrounding salon needed anything, I could probably get it to them. I probably had it. And we had, I want to say, should we throw a number out?
Sure.
Over 10?
I would say around 10.
Yeah, around $10,000
of retail.
Sitting on shelves. And so
just hanging out.
Just hanging out. The thing with retail too, that's funny is when you put up this initial investment, and then you recoup that investment, and then you spend that again to restock your shelves. So we looked at it, and we just thought, with the help of our business coach again, that having this square footage devoted to retail didn't make sense
at all.
We always say we do hair and we have fun. Mm-hmm. Those are the things we want to do. Nowhere in there is we sell retail. Now, if somebody wants something, I don't have a problem connecting them or connecting the dots, and we can talk about what we do in a second. But stocking products for these large companies, and then sort of like you're just spinning your wheels. You're never really making a whole lot of money.
No. And so on that holiday, of course, guess what happens at the beginning of this year? One of those other big brands repackages. So now I'm stuck with more crap on these shelves, and it's not even relevant. And I want what's new. I don't want old, but now I've got to sell through it. And I went to Todd. I was so frustrated because now it's the second big brand. And I felt like I'm supporting these brands. Why are they not supporting me? And I'm like getting frustrated. And Todd's like, okay. Well,
they don't care.
Well, that. And then what's the solution? Like, you can sit here and you can keep complaining about it. They're not going to change. They don't have to. You've bought their product. It's yours. It's not yours. It's ours. It's Hello's to sell. But like, what would the solution be? And he's like, why don't you check out?
Back up for a second. I don't think most people realize that you're the end consumer for those large companies.
Yeah, they
not
don't.
Our client. Our clients, they don't care. Nobody cares. The big
brands don't care.
The big brands, the only reason that they would care if our clients are buying product is so that we purchase more product.
Right. And
which
that's what
I understand how business works, but that's not what we want to do. We don't want to be a retail store.
Yeah, we're not a retail front, right? We're a salon. And we had to kind of talk through that. Like, what are you? Because if you're a retail front store, cool. Then retail's your jam, and that's your focus.
Your staff.
Yeah, and sell all the
focus on retail.
But that's not what we are. And let me tell you, like I said, I do love retail, but most stylists, they don't want to sit there and have to try to sell retail products. Like, that's old school. That's not fun for them. And now you just took out all their creativity, and like that's another topic probably. I'm going to stop there.
So I had said to you, Jen, you can complain or you can come up with a solution. Mm-hmm. I need you to be proactive. And you've obviously been in the industry for 2 decades. You have way more experience and way more insight. So we decided to come up with a solution with the help of our business coach, which I think I already said, but shout out, Shelley.
We decided that our end game would be removing all the retail, which would allow us space to add more stations. And interestingly enough, my first thought was removing the retail. I'd still be aligning with these big brands because I felt like they were my brand. Like, they were part of the image that we were.
And
we were for Hello.
Tell people how we were going to sell that.
So the goal is to get it so it's all through affiliate links. So through our website, or I mean, if you go on my Instagram, you can actually see it. Now you go on the link and it shows all the products that I support. But everything had to be through the modern day of a link, which is how most people shop nowadays.
Correct.
So that led me into this like weekend of a revelation of these brands I don't think align for what Hello's doing. There's nothing special about them. They're not cool. They're not fun. And I don't even think their delivery is as good as I thought it was going to be. So that was where I'm like, wait, let's step back. Like sustainability, clean beauty, fun, affiliate links, like all of these things are really important to me. And then on top of that, like small business support. So there's got to be companies that can do all of those things and fit our core values. And now why not, if you are coming to Hello, you're excited about like these boutique brands that we're carrying that do all this stuff and you didn't even know about till you came in. And that just makes another kind of cool, fun factor of coming to Hello when you probably passed 100 salons on your way, but you're like, whoa, you know, it's everything they do is all in one. And I'm like, to align with smaller companies that do this stuff, that gets me excited.
It gets me excited to not have $10,000
and that too
sitting on hold on a shelf. So
literally sitting.
One of the things we can do again is we're not sort of stuck. We don't feel backed into a corner. We can pivot quickly. So if a company changes something, we can be out because we don't have to move stock. Everything we sell. Now we do have some stock currently because there's a transition period.
I
and
felt
we
like
got
it was
rid
a
of some
bridge
products.
going into where we're going.
Which is fine. And again, it's sometimes you have to sort of take that sort of hit or that half a step backwards in order to get those 5 or 10 steps ahead.
Get your movement and momentum, that type of thing.
So it's been fun to bring in these brands, and we've committed to, I think, maybe the beginning of the year, and then we'll evaluate and see which ones fit. Do we want to remove any? Do we want to add any? What have we learned? Yeah. Right? So that's very important, is sort of looking at what's working.
Yeah.
What's not working.
And the other cool part is we're not just aligned now with one big distributor. And we've been able to bring in a bunch of different distributors in the area and talk about what we're doing. They talk about what they're doing and align different beliefs and work together. And that has been really exciting too, just creating those new relationships that I didn't feel we would have been able to as much before. Mm-hmm. And the products are fun, and it's neat to be with different smells and different stuff. And
again, we had talked about our tech. I think in episode 1 we talked about, or no, was it earlier this episode? So we've had some pauses. So we were talking about connecting with Timothy and Vish, and just so with these smaller companies, we can get on the phone with them. Mm-hmm. You spoke to the owner of one of the companies, one of the founders. She just called you and was like, "How'd you find us?" And spent like 40 minutes just talking about what our vision was and what
our
we
visions
wanted
aligned
to do.
So well.
It did, really. And it was very cool to be able to have that conversation with the larger brands. And there's no fault to this, but you're never going to get an owner or a board member or somebody on the phone. It's just not going to happen, which is totally fine. I respect that. Look, if somebody wants to buy if some big company wants to buy me, call me.
I think it's neat, maybe as a salon owner, to reflect on your business and look at the whole thing and see, does everything in my business align with what I'm trying to do? And then feel like you have the freedom, if it doesn't, to then do it. Like when we removed the big brands, I didn't know what the staff would think. I know they support a lot of what Todd and I do, but they might have thought I was crazy. But I was like, Hello is for the core values, what we do, what we stand behind. And I believe that this next part is going to get people excited. And let me tell you, at first I think they were like, what the F is happening? And now they're like, this is amazing. And it's the freedom as an owner to, make changes in your business that you feel is best for your business and, be excited about it and have a staff that supports that too, because they understand your mission and your values too.
So I think actually that's a perfect place to wrap up this episode with just that message of what you just said, which is you're not stuck. So if you're a business owner, you're a stylist, a barber, independent, commission, doesn't matter. You're never stuck. You have choices. And I know sometimes it feels like you're stuck because people will say things like, that's just the way it's always been done. But
hell no.
Yeah, hell no. You can do it, and you can do it your way. Find a team, find a staff, find an owner that supports you in what you want to do, and then go out and find companies that align with that. And that's it. Yeah, that's a great place to.
And we're here if you need us.
Yeah, reach out. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.